Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce me to Faisal Nurdiana from the Informatics Management Study with student ID number 31,200,068. How to fix monitor no signal? Number 1. Check cable check. First try to check the cable use. Check the cable. Do not let the installation loose, because in some cases, usually 3 are user how to not make the cable properly when installed. This cable that is not properly attached can be accidentally detected when the monitor in moved. Then the result will appear no signal message. If it still does not work, then try further. Number 2. Replacing monitor cable. VGA monitor cable to the computer 3 types commonly used. Number 1, VGA. Number 2, DVI, and number 3, HDMI cable. Then use U3 to replace the cable connector used to connect the computer to the monitor if it return to normal. It means that the cable is indeed damaged. You can buy or borrow from a friend. The cable you want to use. However, try to change the type of cable use if 3 are more than one port on the monitor. This is to check whether or not 3 is damaged to the cable connector on the monitor. For example, if you usually use a DVI cable, then try using HDMI, or if you usually use a VGA cable, then try using a DVI cable and vice versa. Next, to Aldy.
Introduce me to Aldy from the Management Informatics Study, student ID number 31,2020-KIP-B3 Number 3. Check converter. As for some PC users, there are those who have monitor with ports that do not match the VGA specification. For example, the VGA uses only support DVI and HDMI, but the monitor only supports the VGA port. Then the VGA card cannot be connected to the monitor. To overcome this, a converter is generally used so that the computer usage can run. There are 2 types of converters commonly used, namely an active converter and a passive converter. Passive converters have relatively much cheaper prices than active converters, so most people prefer to use passive converters. So this passive converter generally does not always work normally. However, from the source of large computer forums, it is not uncommon for people to experience this kind of damage. For this point, I have 2 solutions. Number 1. Use cable with the same connector, DVI to DVI, HDMI to HDMI, VGA to VGA, because 100% sure way The price is also not too expensive. 3. To use an active converter, because most people prefer to use an active converter than a passive one. For the price itself, it is a little more expensive than a cable with same connector, so this active converter is just a second option.
Hello, introduce. My name is Sohirin. I'm from Informatic Management with study number 312000073. I will continue how to fix monitor no signal that Aldy conveyed just now. 4. Check VGA. If the problem is not in the cable and monitor port, then we have to check the VGA use. Is it problematic or not? VGA itself is needed a component that is easily damaged, even is only in certain situation. For example, due to unstable power supply, VGA temperature that is too hot until the error with the overclock. To check it, there are their solution below. Some processors have onboard VGA, some don't. Well, if you have an onboard VGA, try to use the onboard VGA first. And if your processor does not have an onboard VGA, try to borrow a VGA card from a friend to check. Another solution, you can buy a cheap VGA card with the use of whatever, as long as the compatibility as appropriate and still normal. But this is optional because it's worth of money. If the positive VGA is damaged, you can do RMI or service to the factory according to the VGA vendor you are using. But not all brands can do service to the factory. There are unclear VGA brands, which of course only have a store warranty of distributor warranty. Avoid this type of VGA. Better buy brands that are well known. 5. Check motherboard. In discussion number 4 is the cause with discrete VGA, dedicated graphic. Then what about the onboard VGA? If you are sure that the damage is positive on the onboard VGA, then the solution is to have it serviced or RMA is the same of before. If you want an assured solution, you can replace the motherboard with a new one, or you can downgrade to get a cheaper price. But if you are really sure that the onboard VGA is damaged, and maybe that's enough for our explanation about how to fix monitor no signal. Thank you.